We've been told that there's no such things as monsters. However, in our communities today, 1 out of every 3 girls is sexually abused by age 16. An estimated 52,000 of the illicit drug users in Minnesota were between the ages of 12 and 17 years old. For many of these kids, the monsters that wake them up at night are real. But who cares? We do.
There's an old saying that goes, "It's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness." Well, that basically describes our ministry. We've been lighting candles for years, trying to make a difference in the lives of hurting kids. Since 1970, when we began, our goal has been to start with kids that other people have given up on. We're going after the kids the church isn't reaching by purposefully placing ourselves in their mess. One of the special things about Timber Bay is our staff are committed to having a long-term relationship with them. Many of the kids we're working with are reeling from the difficulties and pain of divorce and abandonment. And they need to have at least one caring adult in their life that loves them unconditionally, teaches them biblical truth, and stays with them through those difficult years.
Timber Bay has always helped me by always being there for me, whether it's in school or out of school. There was one situation where I needed someone to turn to, and I had no one else to turn to, and they were there for me every step of the way. The long-term relationships with Timber Bay has helped me by them being there all the time and being like a counselor to me, and the same, just like a father. He's like a father figure to me.
I remember the court date. I was on my way out the door in handcuffs, locked up, and I ran into one of the staff members from Timber Bay who I've been pretty close to, and he was always there for me, and he supported me and kind of cheered me up before I went out the door. And he wrote to me while I was up there, and even came and visited me, and he was just there for me.
Frankly, I was oblivious to the problems that the teenagers are facing in today's society and in our local area, and I really didn't care. The sphere of influence that I was in didn't afford me to see the kids that were struggling and the problems that they were running into as youth. The abandonment from the parents and the drug abuse, from methamphetamine, alcoholism, the beatings that the kids took, 14, 15 years old. I know of a young lady who was 15 years old when her father shot and killed her mother. She's living with an aunt and uncle now, and she has no parents. And there's no substitute for parents, but they need adult mentorship. And Timber Bay afforded me that opportunity to come in and do long-term relationships with teenagers who have problems like this, who don't have anybody to go to, who don't feel loved and feel unlovable. And they don't think anybody cares, and that's what Timber Bay allows us to do, is to come in and help these kids. The staff at Timber Bay are committed to working with troubled and at-risk kids. One of our constant struggles is the need for financial support. When you partner with Timber Bay, you'll be investing in a ministry that has a long history of caring for kids.
Timber Bay allows kids to break the destructive cycle of alcohol and drug abuse, which in turn leads them to becoming better citizens in society, in their neighborhood, and for officers like us, we do not have to go up and just keep picking these kids up over and over. It's nice to know that there's an organization like Timber Bay that's passionate about keeping kids off the street.
As the mayor of Elk River, I can tell you that every city should have a Timber Bay, because we always are looking for better ways of serving the population, and we all have that population. We call them youth at risk, and we all have the population that needs to be served, and the city simply does not have the resources or the ability even to be able to reach that population. Timber Bay comes in and does it so well, and they partner with the city and the county in many, many ways. Several years ago, the city of Elk River went through a process where we looked at what assets we had for serving that population of at-risk children. And we met those assets very well. In fact, we scored very high. But still, we have children here in this city that need to be served. And we haven't been able to find a way to do that from the city level or even the county level. So when Timber Bay comes in and is able to do that for a city, it has a great benefit. Everybody should be supporting Timber Bay so that they can be in every city in this nation.
As a parent of 2 teenagers, I've seen the difference that mentoring makes in kids' lives. And my kids have grown up knowing a lot of caring adults, and they have a different relationship with them than they do with their parents. And so it makes a difference. Having that bigger community of caring adults for these kids really makes a difference in their lives. Timber Bay staff have been with kids for a long time. I've known kids who have continued to go and share their problems and get some coaching from a Timber Bay staff member well into their 20s. So I think the long-term mentoring relationship really works, and I think Timber Bay is great at showing these kids that they care.
Timber Bay has just, helped me to kind of find my path, I guess, and I know I probably wouldn't be here right now. I'd probably be sitting somewhere locked up and be doing things that aren't right and committing crimes, and just I kind of steered away from that path. Had someone to kind of guide me and show me.
I had no one else to turn to, and Timber Bay was there for me every step of the way. The support that they gave me, I wouldn't have been able to get anywhere else.
The stats tell us that so many kids are at risk. Timber Bay's response is to reach our communities one kid at a time. You know, so many troubled youth are always asking the question, who cares? At Timber Bay, they know we do.